Hello, hello, everyone. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, March 24th, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Trends in the news. Where do you get trends in the news? Other than trends in the news? Nowhere, no place, no how. Nope, only here. No one talks about trends. All they talk about is a lot of
bullshit.
That's it. That's all the media is. Total bullshit. Anyway, on the bullshit front on the markets, well, it was a down day yesterday, but hey, today's a different day. So the markets went up, and you know why? Good reasons.
Bullshit.
That's right. Stocks rallied Thursday, clawing back their previous session losses. Falling jobless claims. Yeah, falling jobless claims. You'll say, what, about 4.3 million people quit last month? The Dow Jones Industrial Average rebounded 349 points, so 1%. The S&P up 1.4%. The Nasdaq rose almost 2%. So what happened? Guess what? NATO leaders met in Brussels. That should bring the markets up. NATO leaders. Little fucking pieces of warmongering shit. Hey, how about that Biden, huh? Boy, does Biden talk tough. Hey, go to your Trends Journal. Look at some of the quotes we had from him. Going back to Yugoslav war, bombs away. I love these fucks. These fucking guys like, Trump. They talk tough. But how many things did Biden do to avoid the Vietnam War? How many draft deferments did he get to avoid the Vietnam War? But boy, did they talk tough. Anybody that wants to go to war, anybody that supports it, put on your military drag and lead the charge or shut your fucking mouth. No, we're tough. Like that guy Stoltenberg over there. That NATO fuck. Anyway, gold prices rose. Wonder why. Well, it's a safe haven asset. No shit. What have we been saying? For how long? Closed at 1963 an ounce. It's his highest level, like in 2 weeks. So I'm just saying, we don't give financial advice, but all your things are in the Trends Journal, what we said, where it's going. And even if these interest rates are going up, they're not putting them up nothing compared to where inflation is really going. So even if they go up, because you don't make any dough holding gold. When interest rates go up, you make money on interest rates going up. But it's still, we still see it as a going higher. And we have the numbers in the Trends Journal. And silver was up 2.2%. Crude fell, crude oil, but it's still at almost $120 a barrel. And you have some people saying that oil traders have projected crude prices climbing beyond $200 a barrel this year, owing to a growing boycott of Russia and a lack of alternative sources. Pierre Andrond, one of the sector's best-known hedge fund managers, said supplies of Russian oil to Europe would disappear in the aftermath of an invasion via Ukraine, leading to lasting reshaping of the energy markets. We're not going back to normal business for a number of months, he told Financial Times. I think we're losing the Russian supply on the European side forever. Crude could hit $250 a barrel this year. double current levels, he said. And then you have the guy that's playing Chancellor of Germany, Schultz, told the Bundestag that immediately cutting Russian energy imports would trigger an economic crisis. Saudis warn of oil disruption after Houthi missile attacks. We wrote about this in the Trends Journal. This is serious because oil isn't only related to what you put in your car and put in your house to heat it up. It's used for a lot of other stuff. So the implications are far-reaching. Egypt asks IMF for support as Ukraine crisis affects wheat and crude imports. Yep. It's one after another. Again, look at your Trends Journal. We have listed, let's connect for peace, occupy peace. Oh, go to hell, Salenti. Who the hell are you to talk about peace? What's wrong with you? Hey, maybe the New York slime, the little toilet paper record, may come after me for talking about peace. Why, you little bastard, they would say. You got to talk about war like we do. We lied to you about the Iraq war. How dare you talk about peace? No one's talking about peace. No one. Matter of fact, the toilet paper record today came out with this big piece telling people that anyone that is coming out against the war or giving another side to it, how Russia and right-wing Americans converged on war in Ukraine. Can you imagine a little dicks, and I can't say the other word, that would write this fucking bullshit? Just like, if you didn't want to get the Operation Warp Speed vax, or didn't believe the bullshit they were selling of COVID, you were a right-wing conspiracy theorist. You were a Trump supporter. This is why you subscribe to the Trends Journal, because all these fucks are doing are selling hatred and lies. I think we have to Alex Jones in here again, and I host an hour on Alex Jones every Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern. And you want to check us out on Substack as well. Right wing. I'm a right winger, right? How dare they? How dare they when we put out other facts, and again, these fuck faces, and I'll call them that to their fucking faces. We've been writing about the overthrow of the Ukraine government by the United States under the Nobel Peace or Crap Prize winner Barack Obama back in 2014. Detail after detail after detail. All they're selling is hate. They use the term far right in this article about 10 times or more. Anyway, what else do we have over here? Argentina raises key rates to 44.5% as inflation heats up. 44.5%. Now catch this. This is great. Policymakers. Isn't that a nice name? Policymakers. Fucking scumbags who suck off the public tit and steal our money that are members of the club. Policymakers. I'm a policymaker. Shove your policy up your ass. Policymakers at the central bank. Yeah, at the central bank. You know the central bank, the ones that put Jesus Christ up on the cross after he drove him out of the temple, the money changers? Yeah, those central bankers consider that the effective annual rate is the one that needs to exceed inflation to comply with the IMF's goal of positive rates. So policymakers say that the interest rates have to exceed inflation. Oh, wait a minute. We got a 0.25% inflation rate over here in the United States, interest rate. And what you got, like a 7% inflation rate? 6% inflation rate over there in Europe? And you got what? Negative interest rates? Oh, the IMF says, huh? The International Mafia Federation says. But only when you owe them money and they're in control of your life. What hypocrisy. Our rate then should be well over 8%, our interest rate. Midtown Manhattan imagines life with fewer office workers. Yep. Midtown Manhattan's attracting barely 1/3 of their pre-pandemic workforce. Pre-pandemic. Scumbags, pieces of shit that made up fucking crap to lock everything down, like little daddy boy Andy Cuomo and little gruesome Newsom and one fucking bastard and bitch around the world, locking down places, destroying buildings. Oh, restaurants are going out of business all over around here. About 4 of them gone out already, 5 in Kingston. The streets are dead at night, dead. Once packed commuter trains arrive at Grand Central Terminal and New York Penn Station with ridership at less than half of pre-pandemic levels. Midtown survival is critical for Manhattan, which is home to nearly 11%, you ready this, of all office inventory in the United States. And now it's filled up with homeless people. Returning workers worry as offices ease COVID rules. The office occupancy rate across the country is 40%. What does it mean? What's going on with commercial real estate? It's all in your Trends Journal. We wrote about this stuff before, with history before it happened. We warned about this. We gave the numbers, and these bastards and bitches get away with it. Larry Fink, the CEO and chairman of the world's biggest asset manager. Another criminal group, man, buying up everything they want. Not a crime group. I'll take that back. I don't want to get sued by them. They're a whole different organization that control $10 trillion in firms. Yep. Fink, whose firm oversees more than $10 trillion. He said the Russian invasion of Ukraine has put an end to globalism. Back in the early 1990s, when the world emerged from the Cold War, Russia was welcome to the global financial system and giving access to global capital markets, Fink wrote. The expression of globalization accelerated international trade, grew global capital markets, and increased economic growth, he said. Yep. Globalization killed economies around the world and only made the bigs bigger and put small businesses out of business. So these asset managers and hedge funds and private equity groups could buy up everything. No, they're not criminal. That was a slip of the tongue. I didn't mean that. We've lost it. They've taken over everything. Buffett buys Berkshire ends acquisition drought and pays $12 billion for insurance to toys group Allegheny. Isn't that great? Warren Buffett has dipped into Berkshire Hathaway's $147 billion cash pile for $12 billion to buy Allegheny, an insurance to toy manufacturing conglomerate. A conglomerate buying a conglomerate. Get it, everybody? All we are workers on the global plantation of Slavelandia. Prologis bids $21 billion for Blackstone's warehouses. Oh, Blackstone owns warehouses too. New home sales declined in February for the second month, and they're going to keep declining as interest rates go up. Mortgage refinancing plunges 14% as interest rates spike higher. What does it mean? Will there be a housing crash? It's in your Trends Journal. This is the toilet paper record. Big, 2 pages. For Putin, truth is just another front in Russia's war on Ukraine. Oh, for Putin, truth is just another front line, huh? Oh, you mean like Obama? You mean like Clinton? You mean like Bush? In the wars that they started? Nobody can outwar America. U.S. says Russia is guilty of war crimes. Well, how about Russia saying America's guilty of war crimes? How about Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, along with the United States, are guilty of war crimes in Yemen? Oh, that doesn't count, Salenti. Germany warns of fallout from boycott and Russian sources. Yep. Kremlin, here, this is from the Financial Times. I'm talking about this to illustrate the propaganda language. Kremlin recognizes need to change tactics by employing brute force in urban areas. Russia's medieval-style assault inflicts apocalyptic suffering in Mariupol. Brute force, medieval style. Unlike the United States, they did a great job in Fallujah, in that place, Iraq. Oh, how about what they did in Yugoslavia? We won't talk about that. How about what's that place called? Afghanistan, the 20-year war? How about the bombing the hell out of all these places? Oh, that wasn't brute force, Salenti. No. That wasn't medieval. No, America did it. Hey, how about that Agent Orange, huh? That they all over Vietnam. How about all those cluster bombs that we're using up until recently? No, that's not medieval. That's accelerated. That's 21st century killing. Ukraine. UN chief calls on Russia to end unwinnable war. He got it backwards. The unwinnable war is Ukraine fighting Russia. I am totally against Russia's invasion. Want to make that 100% clear. I know the reasons why. I don't agree with the invasion. But Ukraine is not going to win. Ukraine crisis instigator, U.S.-led... Are you ready? This is from the Global Times, the Chinese mouthpiece newspaper. Ukraine crisis instigator. U.S.-led NATO reneges on not 1 inch eastward promise to compress Russia's space to the extreme. This is yesterday. Since the military conflict between Russia and Ukraine began, the international community has become increasingly aware of the role the U.S. and NATO have played behind the crisis. From leading NATO's eastward expansion to hem Russia's territorial space, to launching color revolutions, that's in Ukraine, from imposing sanctions on disobedient countries to coercing other nations to pick sides, the U.S. has acted like a Cold War schemer or a vampire who creates enemies and makes fortune from their wars. The Global Times is publishing series of stories and cartoons to unveil how the United States, in its superpower status, has creating trouble in the world One crisis after another. All right? That's the China time, the global times. Today, from NATO, a senior administration official piece of shit, because he won't give his name, or maybe she won't give her name, who declined to be named, said, we need to continue to call on China not to support Russia and its aggression against Ukraine. Wait a minute, I just tell you what Russia thinks about this. And we need China to call for a peaceful end to the conflict. Oh, a peaceful end to the conflict, huh? You want a peaceful end to the conflict? Well, Wall Street Journal today, U.S. and NATO allies race to resupply arms as Kiev runs low. More arms to keep fighting a war, and you got some coward who won't give their name telling China that we need a peaceful resolution as you're building the war up? Swallow the shit, Zelensky. Get in line like everybody else. Just like they bought the COVID war, they're going to buy this war. World War III has begun. Get this in your head, everybody. I could go on and on. There'll be more in the Trends Journal, but I want to just to give you more of the fucking bullshit going on. The guy playing mayor in New York. Adams lifts to lift vaccine mandate for athletes and performers. Yep. Unvaccinated athletes will get a special exemption, and performers, blah, 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 blah. But he fired more than 1,400 teachers, sanitation workers, housing employees, and cops for failing to get a shot. How about that, huh? Look at this. Look who's running and ruining our lives. It's going to be real, Biden said at a news conference today. The price of the sanctions is not just imposed upon Russia, it's imposed upon an awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well. That's right. The sanctions won't do shit to end this war. They're going to make a bad situation worse with Russia and the rest of NATO. India, China, Pakistan, they ain't going the NATO way, and a number of other countries. Mexico. And who are the sanctions hurting? Go back and look at your Trends journals and look at Celente and the Judge. This past yesterday and the week before, talking about sanctions, who they're going to hurt. Again, Judge Napolitano said they put sanctions on Cuba, what? 1962? Did it change anything? Yeah, it hurts the people. Put sanctions on Iran. Did it change anything? Hurts the people. Put sanctions on Venezuela. Change anything? Hurts the people. And now, our president, sucking off the public tit for 50 years, Biden, who hasn't worked hardly a day in his life, could give a shit about prices going up, because he doesn't care, says it's going to be real. The prices of the sanctions is not just imposed upon Russia, it's imposed upon an awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well. No, not country, on we, the people of Slavelandia. Got a lot more here in your Trends Journal. Remember, watch Celente and the Judge yesterday. Great interview with, what's his name? Douglas McGregor, former Army colonel. You could see that one, telling you what the story is over there. And we have more coming up, more special interviews. And again, check us out on Substack. And this is some of today's trends in the news for more trends that are going to help you prepare, prevail, and prosper subscribe to the Trends Journal. Very simple. TrendsJournal.com, the only magazine in the world where you will read history before it happens. We are the world leader in trend forecasting. Thank you. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war. Are you prepared for what's next? These are unprecedented times. What's next? What's going to happen? Read the Trends Journal. We have an unsurpassed track record of forecasting history before it happens. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.